welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel in the first place. Today we have a Sero Hanta ex-listener. This is just some fluff, so let's just get into it. Important information will be at the end, as always, or as of recently, really. One thing that listener had never seemed to notice about Sero was that he never really talked to that many girls in class. He was all talk and no bite, extremely flustered around them. So, when listener shuffled into the hallway, exhausted and grumpy, and saw Sero leaning next to Momo Yaoyorozu with a huge grin and a slightly visible blush on his face, it boiled their blood to no end. But they had no right to be jealous. They weren't even in a relationship, right? They shouldn't get angry with him. When Momo put a hand softly on Sero's shoulder, it struck a nerve through listener, immediately making them shudder and look away, praying that they didn't have to witness any more of it. Becoming jealous over someone they didn't even have or could get was a big obstacle and a habit they had developed ever since they were in middle school. It was just an extra heartbreak for them. Slowly, they creeped their head out to look at the pair, their heart shattering even more every second. Dropping hints hasn't worked either. 2 months ago, listener was a bit more subtle, laughing at his jokes, keeping eye contact, always keeping a smile when speaking to him, etc. But this month, they had gotten more desperate. It has evolved to running their hand down his arm when they're laughing at a horrible joke he made, offering to do his work, unbuttoning their blouse a bit, and twirling their hair and complimenting him. "Wow, Sero, your hair looks so fluffy today. Can I touch it? Oh, Sero, your quirk is so cool. Can you demonstrate it?" And even, "Sero, you're so smart. Can you help me with a few problems?" Even though they score higher than him. But he seems unfazed and totally oblivious. Sometimes listener thinks that they're too undesirable and he's just pretending that the hints mean nothing, or he's just incredibly dense, or he doesn't believe that someone would ever like him because of how plain he is, or he thinks it's just dare, or maybe he's shy. A million possibilities and scenarios played out in listener's head, blocking their hearing from any other senses. They were too focused on him. Though it may sound creepy, their favorite thing to do is watch him. Every few minutes he would smile, which they found adorable. Sometimes he would flex. Sometimes he would just have a cute, pouty, concentrated look on his face. He managed to look perfect 24/7. But now, the only thing that he was concentrating on was Yaoyorozu. "You're a lot cooler than I thought, Sero." She winked at him. "I don't know what to say. You too, Momo. But I have to go. See you tomorrow." Listener bit their lip in jealousy and anger. It wasn't their right to be jealous, but they still were. And it just makes them even angrier they didn't have him. When listener told their friend Jiro about their feelings for Sero in a time of crisis, and they seemed surprised. "Him? But he's just so plain. I thought you'd like someone like Todoroki, or even Bakugo." Listener had gotten defensive, saying all the good things that they liked about him. His adorable grin, his soft hair, his outgoing and social personality, his sense of humor, his quirk, which listener found fascinating, and his aura of kindness, and how he somehow smells of strawberries. They also told them a few bad things which they still loved and accepted. He sometimes would be a little perverted or say some insensitive things without thinking. He also wasn't the smartest, but it's all just a part of him. All of those things were just attributes that attracted and interested them more by the second. But now, they were starting to believe that Jiro was right. Maybe he didn't deserve them, or the other way around. Maybe it's useless to have feelings for such a man. Or maybe they were just being crazy and overthinking it. Listener and Sero seemed to become close friends, nothing more. Of course, a few students eventually took notice of the gradually increasing amount of flirting from listener's side, and assumed there was indeed something going on. But it was just a fantasy in listener's mind. Hours later, class ended. Sero had still had that same goofy smile he had with Yaoyorozu when walking out the door. Listener caught up, stopping him. He turned around to face them. "Oh, hey listener, you're heading home?" They shrugged. "Yeah." Well, he looked awkwardly to the side. "Wanna walk together? Your house is in the same direction as mine." Their eyes lit up, yet dulled down when they remembered how they felt a few minutes ago. "Yeah, sure." Why am I acting like this? Why am I taking it out on him? Ugh, why am I being such an idiot today? Sero tilted his head and smiled, grabbing their arm. "Come on, then." Listener gave a soft smile back, loving the feeling of his hand on their arm until he let go. They took a deep breath to prevent their face from heating up. Their demeanor completely changes when they're with him. With others, they're known to be a chill, sassy person with a neat quirk who knows how to take care of themselves and doesn't take no for an answer. But when they're alone with Sero, they become a total mess. It's how they first realized their feelings. After all, they didn't even know it. It creeped up on them one day. They used to think of him as just a guy that was fun to be around, when they noticed how heated their face got whenever he teased them or got too close by accident, or when they accidentally smelled him, or when they studied his face, or when they saw him use his quirk, their mind exploded. Listener was tapped on the shoulder by the man. "You seem a little distant today. I'm not sure if that's a little creepy, but I'm wired to be worried about you. Are you alright?" "Yeah, of course, Sero. Just wanted to make sure," he said. "Sero, I have a question." Listener mustered up the courage to speak. Now, how were they actually going to ask the question that they had in mind? "Ask away," he replied with his usual enthusiasm. It almost made Listener angry. His pace slowed down. His voice even changed from happy to showing slight concern. "Everything alright? What's the question?" Listener had completely stopped walking. They looked around to stall the situation, and when they saw that they were all alone, their face reddened. They muttered the question so low that even they couldn't understand what they'd said. "Huh? I didn't quite catch that." Sero playfully put his hand on his ear, leaning in, crouching an inch or two to match Listener's height. "Do you like Momo?" Listener shouted the question and immediately covered their face in shame. "Did I just do that? Oh my god." Sero was startled, but he stumbled back a bit, processing the question. "What? No, but why do you want to know?" Listener's face became red, but in anger this time, not in embarrassment. "You were so fucking dense." "Dense? It seemed that Sero had finally understood. "Oh, okay." He then burst into a fit of laughter. "Hey, what the hell are you laughing at, idiot?" "Oh, wow." He could barely stop himself. I'm sorry, you're right." There was a silence between the two. Both had tints of pink on their face. "You're jealous, aren't you?" he smirked. Listener secretly wanted to die right there. It was just too much. What? Me? Why the hell would I be jealous?" "I mean, you basically just confessed to me and asked if I liked Momo," he stated. "It seems that you thought that I was getting a little too friendly with her and got angry. Sounds like jealousy." He sang the last 3 words with a teasing voice. "You are insufferable." "We both are." He gave a significantly toothy grin. "I just can't believe you like me. And I just realized all of those hints you gave me. I would have jumped on way earlier if I knew. I guess I couldn't get myself to believe it." "What?" "I have to admit, I like you too, and I guess I felt a little awkward seeing you laugh with Kaminari a few times. I guess I'm not so innocent either." "You little..." Listener walked over to him, pulling him up by the collar and shoving their lips on his. He was taken by surprise, but a few seconds later, his hand placed on the back of their neck, and it was a sensation like no other. No lust, just innocent love. Alrighty, so that's the end of this one. I hope you enjoyed. I know I got a little bit quiet at the end, but Discord link, music, and fanfic link will all be in the description. Check out my comment, it'll have important information of when I will be posting, and what's going on with the requests and everything. Okay, so this is some important information about the Q&A. This is probably just going to be a pre-recorded message that I'll put in each of my videos up until the Q&A. I will be leaving a comment down in the comments that says Q&A questions in order to ask a question, just reply to that, and it'll be all good, okay? That's about it.